to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged. Come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone that would need an adjournment? Please rise, join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remove your hats.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we begin tonight, there is one adjournment on our calendar. It's application 24007 of CarStar Auto Space Collision, property located in Copeg on Oak Street. Is there anybody here on that application? It's being adjourned to April the 18th. Okay, we're going to also take one application out of order tonight. It's application 24012 of Camp Bow Wow, property located in Lindenhurst. Name and address for the record.
Sure. For the applicant Camp Bow Wow, John Farrell with the firm of Son, Ward, Braff, Koblenz, Kashignano. Our offices are at 1300 Veterans Memorial Highway, Suite 100, Hauppauge, New York.
Okay. For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 16th, 2024, environmental control memo dated February 20th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Jack Allison Hall dated May 8th, 2014. A tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, is 8 photographs.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
So this application, we were here last April. We got a special permit to operate a dog daycare and with grooming facilities, and there was also an outdoor play area on that plan. That was application 2023-29. Part of the outdoor play area requires us to, the outdoor play area requires us to install an 8-foot-high fence. The research and past experience has shown Camp Bow Wow that there are many breeds of dog that can easily scale a 6-foot fence, and they don't want dogs in their care to be able to jump over fences and get out onto local streets or get away or get hurt or, God forbid, hurt somebody else not affiliated with them. It's a very small section of the side of the building that'll be enclosed. It's 33 feet 10 inches long, 18 feet in depth. It doesn't go all the way. It doesn't even go all the way out to the end of the property line. There's still sidewalk and about 2 feet before you get to the fence from the street. Overall, the enclosure encompasses about less than 25% of the length of the entire building, so it's really a nominal encroachment. If the board has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Turn the hearing over to Mr. Rigney.
Just one question, Mr. Farrell. Your tenant, when they vacate that property, when they leave, would they remove the 8-foot fence?
Yes, if they, hopefully they're there for a long time, but if they vacate the premises, they will take the fence down.
No, I got no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Perfectly
Yeah,
understandable.
right. Okay. All right,
Thank you very much. I appreciate the board's time.
No problem.
Have a good night.
Next application is application 24013, Arturo Melga and Sienna Garcia, property located in Lindenhurst. Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, name is Thomas Haupt, H-A-U-P-T, 2310 Hempstead Turnpike, East Meadow, New York.
Okay, and your relationship to the application?
I'm just the applicant.
You are the applicant?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you affirm to tell the truth?
I
Okay.
tell the
For the
truth.
record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 15th, 2024. A survey by Peter J. Barbizon dated July 29th, 23. Tax map acting as an area map. Environmental control memo. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. And,
Chairman, is 7 photographs.
okay, would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, we're asking to build a second floor above the existing first floor and a front portico. It's in Zone B without the required front setback and the lot coverage. Before I go any further, I'd like to make a correction on that statement that I received. It says the The front setback is 18.9. It's actually 19.9, if you look at the survey. The existing, excuse me? So the survey shows 19.9. The
It also
statement,
shows 18.9.
excuse me,
It also shows 18.9.
on the survey? I don't see that on the survey. I only see 19.9. To each corner of the front of the house.
Then what's the 18.9?
That's on the plot plan. That's going to the cantilever, the second floor cantilever, which is a 1-foot cantilever.
Oh, that's for the okay.
That's the cantilever, correct.
Okay, all right. That's what-
Okay, second, it says that the second floor is being built directly over the first floor without any further lot coverage, but that's not true. The cantilevers are, in fact, creating more lot coverage. Which is calculated into the total of 34.3. Excuse me? 15.9 or 34.3? No, those numbers are still correct, yes.
Okay, so the variances are correct.
The variance is correct, it's just on this statement, I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
And then just the one last thing was the rear trellis is no longer there in the backyard. On the last paragraph where it said legalization of the rear trellis, that's no longer there.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, what else would you like to tell us about the application? Did I finish?
Yeah, I got the paper.
Yeah. What would you like to tell us about?
Okay, one of the comments was, do they plan on applying for an accessory apartment? No, they do not. The homeowner has 3 children and his wife, and we're building a 4-bedroom, second-floor story, 1 bedroom for each child, and then a master bedroom for the mother and father. The portico, we're building right up to the front house. We're only going out 4 feet on the stoop, so we're not trying to go too big with the portico, but just protect the stoop and, the people coming in and out. If you notice on the zoning map or the survey, all the homes, the property lines are in line. They're all 100-foot deep. For some reason, this property is set back 5 feet off of the street. So he loses 5 feet on the front property line. And if you look, I have a copy of the zoning map and shows that, which would actually, and all the homes are in line. So we lose 5 feet on that front property, which I don't understand why it was set back 5 feet. The survey shows 95-foot, deep property line, but it's actually,
What the property is.
yeah, that's what it is. I don't understand why it was, done like that. That's just kind of strange.
So, again, this is gonna remain a single-family
Single
dwelling,
fam-
right? No intent to rent. The garage, is that gonna be habitable space, or is that gonna remain a garage?
That's going to remain 2-car garage.
Okay.
We're
so
building
just like
over the
I said,
garage,
just
but
going
yes.
over it, that's remaining
Garage is the garage,
space.
yes.
Okay, and the portico not to be enclosed,
We
correct?
will not enclose the portico, correct.
Mr. Chairman, I got no further questions.
Any other questions from the board?
Is there just gonna be one kitchen?
Yes, 1 kitchen.
Kitchen, no kitchen upstairs?
No, upstairs, I got 4 bedrooms. It's open, below, we're opening it up. It's gonna be open from above to look down and to look up, it's gonna be all open, so there's no reason why you're gonna be in an apartment.
I got no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 24-013 with the condition that the front portico not be enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Thank you, have a great night.
You too.
Next application is application 24009 of Advanced Consulting Real Estate Services, property located in West Babylon. Name and address for the record.
It's Michael Lorado, Captain Permit, 245 Route 109, Suite D, West Babylon, New York.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 15th, 2024. A survey by William Hogan dated May 24th, 2022. Tax map acting as an area map. Department of Environmental Control memo dated February 20th, 24. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. And,
Chairman is 11 photographs.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
So the investor got a stop work order on this house. We filed for interior alterations and all the items that were not permitted on the house. We got called out for the front portico. Just to be clear, the front portico is not going to be enclosed on the plans. Going back in GIS, it looks like this front portico has been on this property since about 2004. House itself is only set back 25.7 feet, so the structure itself is not conforming in the zoning to a 30-foot setback. And also with regards to the portico, it was asked if it was altered. From what we can see, it doesn't look like it was ever altered. It just looks like it was fixed. I have some pictures that I took where you can see the original brick that they just basically went over with concrete just to create, just to fix what was there. I don't know if that's the right house. I don't think that's not our house.
Okay,
Yes, that's not ours if that's supposed to be our picture.
wait a second.
I can bring you up the picture so you can see the front stoop, because I know you guys had questioned it. Because it does look like it was altered if you look at the concrete line, but it actually wasn't. I could show you where they
Got
originally.
pictures of it?
Yeah, I could show
Yeah,
you
you
where
want
they.
to submit those?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
Turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
Good evening, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. You represent who do you represent now?
Yeah, the owners, they're like an investment that own this.
Their intentions are to sell?
Yeah,
Okay, how many kitchens are we,
there's only one in there.
okay, and the driveways, and the parking, why was that made so wide and deep and,
Oh, I didn't really go over all that. I mean, I just came here to talk about the portico.
I know, but there's, if you look at the picture we had up there a minute ago, it was one driveway, now it looks like it's,
That's not the house.
That's the house.
That's the house, right?
That's the house right there.
yeah, that's the house.
Oh, yeah, it's just not
Yeah.
just not a new picture. Yeah,
No
sorry.
lawn.
That's an old picture.
It's an old picture. Yeah. I
Shed's
don't-
gone, the garage is gone.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I only know the new, like what it looks like now. That's what I was saying. That
Well,
didn't
yeah,
look-
I'm telling you what it looks like now. The driveway is double wide, and it goes as far back to the back of the house. The garage is gone. But there's no intentions for a two-family or a
No,
rental
no.
or anything like that.
Nope. Plans that we drew up are not for a two-family.
You agree that the front portico not be further enclosed?
Yeah, it's just going to stay the way it is.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 24-009, the condition that the front portico not be further enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks. I have the next one too. I have the next case.
Oh, you have the next one too, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next application is application 24010 of Carol Fuller, property located in Wyandanch. Name and address for the record.
It's Michael Arado, Captain Permit, 245 Route 109, Suite D, West Babylon, New York, 11704.
And again, do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 15th, 2024. Environmental Control memo dated February 20th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. survey by Alexander Tuskerman, dated August 29th, 2023. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 14 photographs.
would you like to tell us about the application?
So this application is proposing a two-car detached garage. It's 28 by 26. It's basically 728 square feet. I know the max size is only 500 square feet. It has a 3-foot setback from the side and rear property line. We placed this garage here because there's a cesspool about 3 feet away from where we placed the garage. So if we went any further over, it's going to be sitting on top of the cesspool. And if we went any closer to the house, you really wouldn't have access to bring vehicles in and out of the garage properly. The turning radius just doesn't work. The owner has 4 classic cars that he's currently storing off-site. So he's looking to build this garage so he can keep the cars on site. The reason why the garage is oversized and overheight is because eventually he wants to install a lift inside the garage. This house was built without a garage, and he currently would like to have a garage there. Just so you know, the garage will be used strictly for a garage. He has no intentions of like creating an accessory dwelling unit or anything like that. Like I said, he has 4 classic cars. He lives with his mom. His mom actually owns one of the cars as well, so they're like car enthusiasts. The 2 neighbors who would be most impacted by this structure have no issues with it. That's 64 State Avenue and 67 New York Avenue. That's his next door neighbor. As far as we know, there's no opposition from any of the neighbors on this build. This area is residential, but straight across the street, there are all commercial properties, so structures like this are not, out of the norm. Most of these structures, most of the properties across the street have like large storage containers on it. It did some aerial views of the area, and it looks like there's a house. I don't know if the structure's legal on 41 State Street. Has a large accessory structure in the driveway. It has solar panels and everything on it as well. So there are, other structures in the neighborhood that are similar to what he's looking to do.
Do you know if they were approved by this board?
I didn't look. I'm just kind of.
Okay, just a big garage. What's he doing there?
He has, like I said, he collects cars. So he currently has 4 classic cars that he stores off-site, and he wants to bring them onto his property so he can, keep them on his property and do the work on there. He eventually wants to install a lift inside the garage. So that's why he's looking to do this.
As you probably know, we normally do not approve garages of this size or height or door height or that close to the property line. I don't really know why, outside of the fact that, he wants to do his classic cars, but this is a very large structure. So you're going to have to give us more on this, is what it boils down to, because this is way out of what we would approve.
Okay, so could we like downsize it or some shorter height? Like what?
You could propose, if you want to propose a different structure, you propose a different structure. You're going to need new plans and so on and so forth. The garage door height, the height of the garage itself. I mean, a 500 square foot garage, 2-car garage is conforming. You wouldn't need to be here.
Okay.
Now, were they tied into the sewer system? Because I know they did the whole sewer project in that neighborhood. Are they still on cesspools, or were they tied in?
Yeah, he told me he was on the cesspool. That's why, because we'd suggested to move it over, but he was like, you can't, because he's like, my cesspool is right there.
Okay, because I know they just brought sewers into that whole neighborhood. If he has it or not, something to look into.
Okay, I'll find out.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? I'm going to close the application, reserve decision. We'll keep the record open if you want to submit different plans.
Okay.
We'll
How long
probably
do I
have
have?
to re-advertise and the whole thing all over again, but
How long do I have for that?
what do you need?
Like 30 days?
Yep. That's what we're
Okay.
looking,
Okay.
all right?
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. The next applications are application 23189A and 189B, property located in Lindenhurst.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda, and Visconti, with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 16, 2024 on the A and the B application. We also have Department of Environmental Control dated February 22nd, 2024, which this would need a neg deck. And that's the same for both applications also, if we were to approve the application. We have a survey on the A application by Ward Brooks, dated January 24th, 2023. We also have a survey on the B application, also by Ward Brooks, also dated January 24th. And we have an overall survey also by Ward Brooks, dated January 24th, tax map acting as an area map, and,
Chairman, there's 4 photographs.
okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
So this board may recall previously, we were here back on November 16th of 2023, and we made a full presentation at that time for this two-lot subdivision. However, since then, in addition to submitting some revised plans, which I'll walk you through, it was discovered that inadvertently a side yard variance for the existing house was left off and was not properly advertised. So we're here tonight to now include that in the overall request for variance relief. So we are seeking variances in connection with a two-lot subdivision. The property is located on the southwest corner of Buffalo and 50th Street, just west of the Chase Bank that's located on Wellwood Avenue. It is zoned Residence B and has an overall lot area of 12,542 square feet. It's presently improved with a two-story dwelling and a detached garage that is being proposed to be removed. The dwelling obtained variance approval for a first and second story addition back in April of 2022, and at that time, the front yard setbacks similarly were approved, similar to what we're asking for tonight. Since then, that construction was completed, that house was CO'd, and the owner decided that they would like to try for the subdivision. If the board recalls, when we were here back in November, there were some concerns about whether or not there was a second family or multiple kitchens at this home, and so an inspection was done on December 13th of 2023, and there were no issues found, no second kitchen, no boarding rooms, nothing of the sort. They passed. The inspection went through fine. So Lot 1 would maintain the existing house and requires front yard setback relief, front yard on 50th Street, 23.5, and on Buffalo to 18.8. And we're seeking to diminish street frontage from 80 feet to 65.21 on 50th Street, diminish lot area from 10,000 square feet to 6,532.08 square feet, and diminish the side yard now to 10.1. That was the variance that was missing before. The existing garage would be removed. The concrete driveway in the rear would remain, and it can accommodate 2 off-street cars. I believe it cannot actually accommodate more than that because it is pretty wide and it's pretty long. For Lot 2, we're proposing a new single-family 2-story dwelling. It will comply with all setback requirements. We are providing a 15-foot side yard on each side. It complies with height, and we will comply with building area. We did remove the deck So when we were last here, we were apparently 33 square feet over. We redid the house plans, fixed the first floor plan, and resubmitted. And the house itself was okay, but the deck then pushed us over. So we removed the deck. I submitted new plans, I believe, yesterday to show a stoop in the rear. However, this afternoon, I received a phone call from the plans examiner that we're still 1 square foot over. So we will make that adjustment. The math just didn't math. I'm not really sure when you use CAD why it wouldn't have mathed, but it didn't. So the architect will make that adjustment. I believe it's like 3/4 of an inch has to be taken off the house, and we will comply. So we have no problem with agreeing to comply with building area. On that parcel, we are seeking to go from 80 feet to 60 feet of frontage, 10,000 to 6,010.2 square feet. The driveway is proposed to be away from the next-door neighbor, so it would be on the east side of the house, and yes, it can accommodate 2 off-street cars, and we are in agreement to all of the covenants and restrictions. In other words, each house will be owner-occupied, single-family, no accessory apartment, no further subdivision, all the things. I believe there's 13 covenants, no planting of bamboo. We do have, if the board recalls from the last hearing, I got new ones signed. We have 3 letters in support from neighbors in the surrounding area. When we look at the surrounding area, there are mixed size lots in this area. Immediately adjacent to the west is a 50 by 100 foot parcel that was approved by the ZBA, albeit a long time ago. Across the street to the north, tax lot 41 is a 50-footer. Next to that, tax lot 40 is a 50-footer. Essentially, within the 200-foot radius, I did the analysis and the math, and 47% are 50-foot lots. We are more than that. We are 6,500 and 6,000 respectively. 3 lots within our radius are actually commercial. It's the dentist office, Chase Bank, and the Lindy Eye Care Store. 7 lots comply, the rest are substandard. So 20 out of 30 lots within the 200-foot radius, which is 70%, are substandard. I know the board really focuses on the 200-foot radius, and so that's what I did here with my math. I am going to resubmit the prior approvals of some of these parcels that I submitted last go-round, along with the 3 letters in support. If the board has any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I do want to stress that we understand it has to be single-family, owner-occupied, no accessory apartments. So I'm just going to hand this up again.
Turn the hearing over to Mr. Rigney.
Well, Mr. Blanda, you make it very easy with your presentation. You hit pretty much all the targets I wanted to ask. Just on Lot 1, are there any garages, I mean, on the one that you're proposing, any garages or sheds going to be a part of that?
No.
On the no?
No sheds and no garage. We would have to go over building area, so if
wanna
some
confirm
homeowner
this.
in the future, had an idea that they wanted to do that, they'd have to come to the board and ask permission.
The only thing I noticed by the neighbor's house along that fence line where you're proposing to build, there's still a lot of debris up against that fence and garbage. Can we clean that up? Have that cleaned
Absolutely.
up? There's nothing else being ran out of that big garage right now, right? There's no,
No.
okay.
No, and I believe the inspector looked at that as
No, 'cause I
well when he was
noticed, like,
there.
a cement mixer and a bunch of stuff back there also. I wasn't sure if he was running a business out of there or whatever
No.
the case was. Okay.
But that would all be removed. That has to go.
We'll just wait for the new plans showing what you guys made changes with that.
Yeah.
I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? Come on up. Name and address for the record, please.
Steve Falco, 813 Buffalo Avenue. I'm right across the street.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I said, no.
Go ahead.
The first house that's there is not owner occupied. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, well, that's what this whole thing, and what they're saying is that it will be owner-occupied. It has to be owner-occupied.
Both of them or just the one?
Both of them. No
Well,
accessory
The
apartments.
first one is not.
Okay, well, it's not completed yet. It's
No,
still here.
people are in there. The first house that's already built, yes.
Yes, but according to the plans and everything that's submitted, they'll have to be owner-occupied. So if he has to sell it or whatever he has to do, it has to be owner-occupied.
Okay,
And no accessory apartments in either house.
okay.
All right?
And there will be a driveway for the second house, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? Name and address for the record, please.
Peter Sadowski, 222 49th Street, Lindenhurst.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes,
What would you like to tell
I
us?
just want to say I don't have anything against the application. I'm supporting the application, that's all.
Oh, okay, you're here to support the
Yeah.
application? Okay,
Right?
thank you. Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We'll keep the record open for new plans. And thanks for coming down, and appreciate it, okay? Next application is application 23-237 of Duncan Multi-Brands, property located in North Babylon. Name and address for the record, please.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Diana Prevett. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Albanese & Albanese, 1050 Franklin Avenue, Garden City, New York, and I'm here on behalf of the applicant.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 16, 2024, environmental control memo dated February 20th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Bar Architects dated May 2021, tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman is 8 photographs.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. My name, as I said, is Diana Prevett. I'm here today on behalf of the applicant and the tenant of the premises at 1260 Deer Park Avenue, North Babylon, New York. The applicant is Duncan, who will be occupying the existing building on the lot after it's been renovated, which contains approximately 900 to 1,000 square feet, and it has a drive-through. With me tonight is the tenant and the operator of the Duncan, Jeff Palazzotto. And then, in addition, we have Ted Ead of TP Signs, who's going to be the sign installer. The applicant is requesting variances to install one additional wall sign on the north wall of the building, which would be a total of 2 wall signs on the north wall. The sign, that's the additional sign, is a cup with a D on it for Duncan. In addition, we are seeking a variance for 3 additional ground signs. There's one pylon sign at the corner of Deer Park Avenue and Ryder Avenue. That's basically the main sign to locate it from the roadway. And then there's an additional preview board sign, which is part of the drive-through on the west side of the building. One directional sign on the west side of the building, which says drive-through on a canopy. So that's a total of 4 ground signs where only 1 is permitted. The building is a freestanding building. It faces Deer Park Avenue. It's located on the west side of Deer Park Avenue, corner of Deer Park Avenue and Ryder Avenue. Subject property is owned by Multi-Brands, North Babylon TIC, which is an affiliate of the actual tenant and Mr. Palazzotto. The subject property is known as Section 113, Block 3.00, Lot 107.000 on the Suffolk County tax map. It's located in an E-business district. As I said, the building is existing, and it was currently used as a Checkers drive-through restaurant. On the north, across Ryder Avenue, is a CVS pharmacy. On the south, on the adjacent parcel, is a commercial building that was previously used as a restaurant. Across Deer Park Avenue is a Speedway gas station and a Payless Shoes, so it's pretty much a commercial avenue. At the rear of the property line is about 200 feet west is a residential area behind the building. As I said, There are 3 ground signs. Those basically are to identify the location of the Dunkin', and the 2 additional signs are part of the actual drive-through operation and assist with getting cars through the drive-through in an orderly and a quick manner. The pylon sign is for identification. The wall sign, the additional wall sign, is, just as I said, a cup with a D on it. The other wall sign, which is the permitted wall sign on that west wall, says North Babylon Dunkin'. Oh, okay. The sign installer, Mr. Eid, has just corrected me. The additional sign is the North Babylon Dunkin'. The approved sign, which has a permit, is the D, the cup with the D on it. The North Babylon Dunkin' sign, which is the one that we're seeking the variance for, is not lit. It's an unlit sign, but as I think the board is aware of from previous applications when we've been here, it's part of their, prototype and their branding to have the location stated on the wall sign, like North Babylon, or one of the other ones was Copeg, that sort of thing. So we're seeking to have that additional sign on the wall. The preview board is only 11 square feet. It is internally illuminated with LED lights. The ground pylon sign, the one on the corner of Deer Park Avenue and Ryder, is 38 square feet. It's internally illuminated with LED lights. The directional sign in the drive-through, which is only 3 square feet, it's not illuminated. And as I said, the North Babylon Dunkin', the additional sign we're seeking a variance for on the west wall, is not illuminated, but it is an additional sign where only 1 is permitted. Any signs that are lit on the premises are on a timer, and the lights generally get turned on at 6 p.m. and turned off at 5 a.m., depending on whether it's winter or summer and when, it starts to get light out. With respect to the elements to grant a variance, if we look at the benefit to the applicant as opposed to any detriment if the variances are granted to the community, we don't believe that there is any detriment to the community if these signs are granted variances. And we believe that there is a benefit, so we're asking that the board grant it based on that. The building that is next to it, the restaurant building, is really has no front yard setback. So we need a pylon sign that's on the corner there to basically identify, because from cars traveling back and forth on Deer Park Avenue, that building would block if the sign was not located where it is. As far as a detriment to the community, as I've said, this is a commercial area. There are a number of signs for the businesses in the area. We don't believe that these signs will have any detrimental effect on the neighborhood or this commercial area. They do not face the residential area, they face the commercial area. Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some other method that's feasible, well, as we've already gone over, the signs that are in the drive-through are there basically to assist cars getting in and out of the drive-through in an orderly fashion. And the one sign on the corner is for identification. So we don't believe there's any real way that we could go without these signs. Whether the variance is substantial, there's case law that indicates that you can't just look at a percentage of deviation. For example, we are asking for variances for 4 signs here. You have to look at the entire picture and see if we're asking for numerous variances. We're asking for variances because of the number of signs, but we're not asking for variances for height or square footage or any other variances. So we don't believe that the variances are categorized or should be categorized as substantial. Finally, whether the difficulty here is self-created. The board can, in looking at this, can say yes, well, in some respects it is self-created, but as the board knows, with an area variance, that can't be the one factor that's used to deny the variance. So As the board has pointed out, the Town Department of Planning and Development has reviewed the application, and they have no objection to the application. Given the foregoing, it's respectfully requested that the board grant the variances. If the board has any questions, Mr. Palazzotto is here, the sign installer is here, and will answer any questions the board has.
Thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Correcchio.
Just the only question I have, I know we heard this hearing previous, just the hours of operation again?
It is 24 hours.
24/7?
I just wanted to make sure. Most of the Dunkins are 24 hours.
Other than that, I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
The Dunkin' that's to the south on Deer Park Avenue, is that remaining, or is that going to be moving to this location? You're going to have two Dunkins on Deer Park Avenue? There's one on Deer Park Avenue in Mohawk.
I'll have Mr. Palazzotto identify himself, put his name on the record, and answer that question.
Jeff
Name and address for
Palazzotto.
the record.
Jeff Palazzotto, 30 Prescott Street, Garden City, New York, 11530.
Okay. Do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay.
The, up in the air right now, it's possible that the other one stays, but 90% chance it's going to go away and be relocated to the same, one of the owners for that Dunkin' is going to be an owner in this location, and he's trying to get out of the lease to move over here. So possibility, but unlikely that they'll both be there. This is likely going to replace the other one.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Number of employees?
Total number for the store probably end up being around 15. Not on each shift. Most will be any shift, probably 6.
You have ample parking,
Yes.
providing ample? No further questions.
Any other questions from the
Thank
board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to, on application 23-237, to approve for a period of 5 years.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Good luck, thank you.
Thank
Coming
you.
down. Where's my coffee?
Keep my
Next application is application 23-236 of Global Montello Group Corporation, property located in West Babylon. This is a Shell service station. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Andrew Stewart, pardon me, S-T-U-A-R-T, High Point Engineering, 1860 Walt Whitman Road, Suite 600, Melville, New York, 11747, here on behalf of the applicant.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 16th, 2024, Environmental Control memo dated February 20th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by William Fenringer, dated April 27th, 1985. Okay. Tax map acting as an area map. A rendering of the sign by, oh, it's on the top. Yeah, Chris Sartiglia, I'm looking for it on the stamp. Dated September 27, 2023, and,
Chairman, there's 2 photographs.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, thank you. The application is for a renewal of a previously approved variance for a freestanding ID price sign at a Shell station located at the subject property. There have been no changes to the sign since the previous applications. This maintains the same setback, height, dimensions. We are simply seeking a renewal of the previous approved variance.
Okay. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
How are you?
Hello.
Where you been?
What took you so long?
I was waiting for that.
Tell you what.
To be honest with you, we found out about that today. We were hired just recently for these sign applications. We have not previously worked on this site before. We did reach out to the applicant, Global Montel, who operates the station. They could not give me any direction on that, unfortunately. The most they would say is possibly was handled by someone who's no longer with the firm. I wish I had a better answer for you, but on the notice I had, I don't have any answer beyond that, the fact that we were just addressing the current renewal.
Won't happen again?
Not with us on board, no. We keep all these calendared in the computer and everything, so.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 23-236 for a period of 1 year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Come on time. Good deal. Yeah. Just if anybody came in late, application 24007 of CarStar Auto Space has been adjourned to April the 18th. I don't know if anybody came in late. Okay. Next application is application 24008 of Eddie Auto Service, Inc., property located in West Babylon.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda, and Visconti with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay. For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 16th, 2024. Environmental Control memo dated February 22nd, 2024. If we were to approve this application, it would need a negative declaration. Fire Marshal's report dated January 22nd, 2024. No violations noted. Okay. What is this? Town of Babylon. What fire prevention? Location to conduct a fire safety inspection. So. Follow-up? Look, okay. Was he there twice? Okay, yeah.
The fire marshal, I believe he was there February 23rd.
Yeah. There was two, I have two reports here.
From
which is-
11:30, and then you have one on 2:23 that says no violation.
All right, so he must have went back on two, oh, yeah, okay, okay. Okay. All right, so the fire marshal's good. Suffolk County Planning memo dated February 20th, 2024. Decision of local determination, take no position for or against. A survey by Barrett, Bonucci, and Van Weel dated January 14th, 2021. A tax map acting as an area map. A site plan by JFT Architectural Design dated December 2nd, 2023. And,
Chairman, there's 3 photographs.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
I'm here tonight representing Eddie Auto Repair, Inc., which is the owner of the premises, as well as Eddie Auto Service, Inc., which is the tenant for the premises. Both are related companies, same officers. We're seeking a special permit for a public garage for auto repair and permission to allow outdoor storage of 2 vehicles on the site. This property is located on the northwest corner of 9th Street and 2nd Avenue, but it has an address of 901 Route 109 in West Babylon. It is zoned Business E and has a lot area of 6,000 square feet. It's presently improved with a 1-story, 1,386 square foot masonry building that was built in 1953. It does have a CO for a gasoline service station and auto repair shop that's dated March 27th, 1953. And there are aerials that I have from the GIS, Suffolk County GIS site, that show from 1962 forward the service station having been there in different iterations over the years. Nothing from the 1950s. They jumped from 47, you can't see anything, to 1962. At times from the aerial, it appears that the prior owner was utilizing a lot across the street that is presently vacant to store cars. We are not doing that at this time. On the face of the CO, there is no time limit indicated, nor are there conditions listed on the special permit. There is mention of a Board of Appeals case, but unfortunately the decision did not turn up in my FOIL requests. However, when we requested copies from the minutes, the books that are kept in the vault in the town clerk's office, we were able to find, after looking through 1953, minutes pertaining to the original approval of this gas station and auto repair shop. The approval was the application of John Saragano, and I believe he was the owner over the last 70 years. And it was subject at the time to renewal in 5 years, and it was non-transferable at that time. However, no other ZBA decision has turned up. In my FOIL requests, and I believe in the town's research, no one has been able to provide me whether or not Mr. Saragano got a renewal in then what would have been 1958, or what happened over all those years. We would have had to go through minutes books. It just would have been too arduous for us to have to try to track it through all those years. So it's unclear what happened, but in any event, in 2021, Eddie Auto Repair, Inc. purchased this property from Rip Wines, Inc., of which John Saragano III was president. So it seems that it was the same owner. Whether or not he was leasing it to a different auto repair shop is unclear to me. I did not handle the closing, another real estate attorney did. But at that time, title was run, and as part of the title searches, a violation search was run, and the report came back with no violations. The CO came back again as a CO for a gas service station and auto repair shop. So Eddie Auto Service closed in February of 2021, thinking they were okay. You know, he's not a builder, he's not a developer, he didn't have a zoning attorney, he had no reason to believe he had to come to the town to apply for anything. He thought he had a CO, and there were no violations in the title report. According to an accusatory instrument from the district court ordinance case that resulted as of some violations that were on the site afterwards, an inspector noted that the site did not have a special permit to operate an auto repair shop, which I believe was a little ambiguous because there is a CO, but I understand the thinking at the time. And this observation was made in January of 2022. Whether or not there were any verbal notifications to Mr. Guzman at the time, I'm unaware of. I wasn't representing him. But a summons was not issued until October 26th of 2022. However, during that time, Eddie Auto was trying to respond to the initial notice of violation, which may have either been verbal or by letter. Eddie did hire an expediter and an architect, and he filed a building permit application on February 15th, 2022. And I have copies of the paper trail just to show the board the timeline. The planning memo seems to indicate or seems to question what Mr. Guzman was doing for those 3 years, and I just want the board to understand what was going on. So in February 15th of 2022, the expediter filed a building permit with the town. Again, I was not involved in the application. I can only speculate that plans were reviewed by the town. A Mr. Peterson was the architect at the time. From what I've been able to glean, there seems to have been a lot of back and forth. I don't think that the plans that were originally filed were satisfying comments made by the town. And so if we fast forward then in October of 2023, the district court case was resolved, and Eddie paid a fine, and he was out of court. Usually, when that happens, someone's done an inspection and kind of clears you, and the special prosecutor is told, okay, negotiate a fine, and you're done, move on, go get your application approved. Again, I was not representing him, so I can only speculate what happened right after that. However, revised plans were submitted, and there's a date on a planning memo that says these revised plans were from November 7th of 2023. And then there was a memo following that from planning dated November 21st, 2023, listing what needed to be done. Shortly after that, in December, Eddie Auto Service was shut down completely. It was placarded. He was told he could no longer work there. He had to completely stop all business operations. and was directed to, immediately file an application. The confusion on Eddie's part was he thought he had. He had a building permit that was being processed, but he had yet to get the denial letter to come to this board. Notably, never during this period of time was the CO revoked. So we met with Eddie in December. He was recommended to come see us. He hired a new architect, Jose Taveras. This all happened in December. We met with the town, and we got our denial late in December. It was dated December 27th, and we filed our ZBA app on January 10th, and here we are. So that's a little bit of just the procedural history of what's happened since Mr. Guzman has taken ownership of the site. He does understand that since he has taken the site, that he has had a larger business than the prior owner. And so there are certain things that we are going to do to accommodate both his business and the comments from the town and what the town is seeking on this site. He wants nothing more than to be permitted to reopen, be a good neighbor, and be a good business operator in the town. Being shut down for almost 3 months now, I mean, you can only imagine the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars this has cost him and his family. We're simply asking to continue to do what has been previously operating there for the last 70 years. So the existing building, the service bays, can accommodate 2 cars at a time. We are proposing 2 outside spaces, which would be at the furthest point from the residences. So they would be in tandem along the west side of the building, storage of cars that are awaiting service. If he could have 2 outside spaces there, we are then proposing 5 customer parking stalls to be striped within the front along 9th Street, and an additional 2 stalls for employee parking, plus a handicap stall in an area that fronts on 2nd Avenue. All stalls will be properly striped. We exceed the parking requirement, which is 5 stalls. So we're going to be providing more than what's required. We will install new concrete curb pursuant to Town of Babylon specs. There will be a new attractive landscaped area installed at the corner of 2nd and 9th Street. At night, the building can accommodate 4 cars because he can put them above each other on a lift. So if he has 4 customers that he's working on, he can store them inside. And then, as I said, he understands that he would be limited to 2 cars outside overnight next to the building. We will apply to legalize the container that is in the corner of the property sort of behind the building. It's used for waste oil barrels, and it's inspected by New York State. So he does need it, but he understands that we have to apply for the permit and legalize that. The fire marshal did an inspection on February 23rd, and from what I can tell from the memo, no violations were noted, and he passed. He understands he has to keep the cars on site and that he can't have spillover onto the streets. He also understands that he has to restripe the parking lot, legalize the trailer container, and that he will be back here in 1 year in front of this board. And so he understands that whatever he does for the next year, that he will be judged upon that when he comes back to ask for his renewal, and he asks to go for 3 years or more. He understands the site can only accommodate the limited business. So, based upon the CO and the no violations report, when he bought the property, he really thought he was okay. He wasn't trying to, throw his nose at the board or at the town or anything like that. I do believe that this site can continue to be utilized the way it was, and it can be brought back to the way it was and actually be upgraded with the new site improvements that he will be doing. The special permit, I believe that this use will not prevent the orderly and reasonable use of the adjacent properties, particularly given the new site layout. I think this new parking configuration will help with the traffic and with visibility coming down the streets. It's not going to look like that anymore. Now it's going to have order, and you'll see striping, and there'll be designated parking areas. The properties that abut the site are zoned Business E. To the west is a vacant site. To the north is a Business E zone property, but it is developed with a residence. Across 2nd Avenue is a vacant lot that's zoned Business E. And to the southeast is a Business E property being used as a restaurant. To the south is Route 109. So, if the board has any questions, of course, I'm happy to answer them. I know there's a lot of people here tonight. We do respectfully request that the board allow him, give him the chance, give him this year to show that he can operate the site properly and, let him have his livelihood back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
Aye.
Hi.
And I'm just going to be a little redundant and ask, I'm going to read you the conditions that the town would like
Sure.
you agree to. I know you stated most of them, but you agree to be subject to the standard conditions and CNRs for an auto body repair shop?
Yes.
You agree the applicant must apply to legalize or remove the trailer container permit with permit?
Yes.
There should be no more than 2 vehicles awaiting repair in the west yard.
Yes.
Parking lot will be restriped per plot plan.
Yes.
And I'm just going to add that it's a residential neighborhood and we need to be good neighbors.
Yes. Understood.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
In the future, if he does have a overflow of vehicles, is it possible that he could negotiate any kind of additional parking in that parking lot across the street?
He's
Has he
in
entertained
talks. Yeah, he's in talks with some other property owners. Nothing that could congeal in time for tonight. The priority is to get him reopened. But certainly, if he could secure something, then he would have, he would apply through the proper channels to allow him to do that.
Okay, very good, thank you.
And there's no auto sales here, right?
No.
Just repair, no sales.
No sales.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? I gotta guess somebody wants to be heard.
Get out of your way. That's okay. Let me just move my stuff. No worries.
Hi, how are you? My name is Mary Gabrell, and I live directly next door to Eddie, and I just want to say that he's a very nice man, and he's been a wonderful neighbor.
Okay.
And I hope that you guys will take that into
I
consideration.
need your, all right, we got your name. I need your address.
Sure, it's 185 2nd Avenue, West Babylon, New York. I'm the gray house right behind him.
Okay.
I
And
just
you
wanna say
affirm to
he's
tell the
really-
truth, all the things you told us already?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Name and address for the record,
Hello,
please.
Maylene Arias. It's 75 E. Huffman Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Before you tell us? Go ahead.
Yes. I just want to say Eddie is, a hard worker, and he helps the community, as you guys can see. There's like a lot of support, so, it's hard during the holidays when his business got closed, so I just hope you guys take that in consideration. He just, he's honest. I've been to many mechanics, and especially being a woman, sometimes they take advantage. So when I went to Eddie, he always, explains everything to you, and that's really nice to feel like that security, that somebody actually cares. So, yep, thank you.
Thank you. Did you guys get her name? You good? I'll take the gentleman walking up first, okay? He's already in progress. Name and address for the record.
Dan Coyne, 428 17th Street, West Babylon. I'm here basically for my wife and as a historian. I've been going to that service station since 1974. There's never been a problem. It's run exactly the same way it was. Nothing has changed. I don't understand why we're trying to put this man out of business. My wife needs fluid in her washer machine, in her washer. She pulls up, they put fluid in, and she's gone. No apps, no getting on a computer, no making an appointment, no talking to a salesman. The job is done. Why anybody in their right mind would want to put this guy out of business is beyond me. So we can have another Mighty Key or a BJ's or another box store? No. We need people like this in our community, and they should all be allowed to work. Once again, nothing has changed on that site since 1974. So there's got to be a reason other than the site why this is all coming up now. And I think somebody should look into that. Thank you very much.
Name and address for the record.
My name is Barry Sable, 515 Straight Path, Lindenhurst.
You affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
What would you like to tell
I dealt with this location before Eddie was there, not as far back as this gentleman here. And then, and then I went back one day, and all of a sudden, the people that I was dealing with before weren't there, and Eddie was there. And all I could say is that he's great. I'm a permanent customer of this guy. I'm glad he's young, because I know he'll outlive me. And I know I have someplace that I can go with my vehicles that I feel confident that he's knowledgeable, he traces the problem, he knows what it is, he does it at a fair price, he doesn't try to rip you off, and you know, what else do you want with a service place that will do the job right? I never had to bring it back again for the same problem ever, and I hope that you consider everything I said and this other gentleman said and keep this guy going, because I don't know about anybody else, but as long as I'm driving and I have vehicles, I'm going to need him.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No, there's a guy behind you. Thank you. Thank you.
Honestly, I just came from Egypt.
I need you, wait, before you start, I need your name and address.
My name is Mumtaz Anjali. I live in 25 North Jefferson Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York.
Okay, and you affirm to tell the truth?
Of course, and even I have my documents to, to ensure that.
It's not.
I got a message
We don't
from,
need the documents, we'll take your word.
I'm just saying, to be 100% truth. I got the message while I was in Egypt that today he has a case on town hall. I just landed a few hours ago in JFK, and I said, I cannot miss to support one like Eddie, honestly. Why? I was working as a civilian with military in Iraq and in Jordan few years. And thank God for a guy like him. He supported my wife, my kids, to fix their cars, their vehicles, all this stuff. And I appreciate whatever he did. Not only that, with honest pay. Therefore, if we don't have a person like him in our society as individual, not as a big companies like CVS, whatever, we need individual, and that's the United States of America. I'm mainly not from the United States, but I respect the country, respecting the individuals. Therefore, I wish to do the best with them, and I appreciate that. And that's my documents, if you like. Just, I landed few hours ago. Okay?
It's very nice of you.
No, honestly, I respect him very much.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, my name is Franklin Mercado. I live in 44 Signwood Street in Central Isley, New York.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do. So I've known Eddie for about 14 years. As I'm an immigrant for another country. I came here when I was 14, so I understand all the struggle that people have when they come from another country, you know, to build up like what he has built, you know, a business which is fair to people. You know, he doesn't overcharge anybody. He does good work, you know. So I've known Eddie for a long time, and he just like to help people, you know, not like other places like the other lady was saying. Because she's a woman, she get ripped off, you know, they try to charge him more because they don't know about cars. Eddie doesn't do that. Eddie is an honest man, hard worker, and I believe that you should guys give an opportunity for him to show you that he can do good to the community. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Hello, my name is Brian Gibbons, 50 Nearing Avenue in Babylon.
Affirm to tell the truth?
I do. I just have a slightly different perspective. There's a room full of character witnesses here that are very, very emotional. So, but as another public official, when I met Eddie, it was a time after he paid the fine, but hadn't hired his new attorney. And I had conversations with him, And his big thing was he didn't understand. He didn't know what the rules were. He didn't know why there were problems. It was never explained. And the first conversation always was, I want to follow the rules. And he would use my knowledge of what I would do to help him learn it. So from my perspective, his whole perspective was do the right thing. He didn't understand the rules. How do I get to the rules? Who do I hire? I don't want to break the rules. I live in the community. I'm a member of the community. I don't want to not follow the rules. That's all he wanted, was to understand so that he can meet the standards and help the community. So it's a slightly different perspective, but his goal from the onset was not to cause any problems or not follow it. He just didn't understand it and needed help getting here. But that's his only thing, is just to follow the rules and do what's right. So,
Thank you.
Good evening.
Name and address for the record, please.
Gabriel Ordonez, 310 11th Street. I'm his neighbor as well. Everyone has said everything about Eddie. He's a very honest person. He's not harming anybody. And I am just here to support as everybody else at this court right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, hold on, 1 second. Is there anybody here that is not in favor of this application?
That's right.
anybody not in favor?
No? You're the last speaker.
Okay. My name is Robert Slozak. We lived at 240 Phyllis Drive, Lindenhurst. I've known Eddie for minimum 15, 18 years. I've known him since he's worked for his previous employer, and when he broke out on his own, I had to follow him. He treats you like a gentleman because he is a gentleman. He treats you fair, he's honest, and all my kids, everybody I know has gone over to Eddie. He's a true gentleman, and if you can't afford to repair it, don't worry, Poppy. He calls me Poppy. I guess it's an old man to him, but you know. He says, don't worry. This is what it's gonna cost. You pay me when you get the money. How could you deal with anybody else? He's a gentleman and a very honest man. He got caught up maybe a glitch in paperwork. I don't know what the problem is, but I think you should give him a chance, let him reopen and support his family and the other people that he had working for him. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't mean to cut anybody else off. I appreciate all your comments, you know, and everybody is in favor of this. Do you really want to speak? Come on up. Okay, but you're doing it at your own peril.
Thank you for hearing me. My name is Ronald Munz, M-U-N-Z. I live at 108 Duville Parkway, Lindenhurst, New York.
You from to tell the truth?
Yes.
Ironically, go ahead.
Ironically, I grew up on 9th Street in West Babylon. I've been going to that gas station since I was a kid. I lived at 540 9th Street. And when I heard that Eddie was taking over the gas station, I followed him from his previous employer here. And I can't say anything more than everyone else has said. He's an honest, hardworking businessman. If you are short on cash, don't worry about it, you pay him back. Always done a phenomenal job. My wife feels comfortable going to Eddie, knowing that he'll give an honest estimate, do a good job, and I hope you guys approve his application.
Mr. Shepherd has a couple of questions.
I just have two more questions.
Sure.
Number of employees.
He has 2 to 3
Okay.
on any given day.
Hours of operation.
Monday to Friday, 8 to 8, and Saturdays from 8 to 4. He would be closed on Sundays.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, this, as you know, this is a rarity, right? Usually, usually if I'm in a room full of people like this behind me, they're in opposition, and I think it speaks volumes that there is not a single person here tonight in opposition. And it's odd because apparently he was shut down because of numerous complaints. So it is interesting that the community has come out and has supported him. I think he feels the love, and I do hope that you will grant his special permit and allow him to reopen. If possible, tonight.
make a motion to adopt it. Okay. So I'll make a motion to adopt the negative declaration in application 24008.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
John?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 24-008 with the 4 conditions listed in red previously for a period of 1 year.
All in favor?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, can you do us a favor and please clear the room as quick as possible? We do have one more application. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have my documents.
You got it. Hey, where we going? Where we going? Nice job. That's your ticket. There you go.
Good man.
You're a good man.
What's happening? What?
Need the spelling.
Need the spelling.
You need your spelling. Go down there and spell your name for them, please. Thank you. This is the flip of what March 21st is going to be.
You like that? All right. You're the best, Nicole. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have a hearing going on.
Gotta go, please.
No.
Usually the opposite. Okay. Is there anyone here for application 24012 Camp Bow Wow? That was heard earlier. Is there anybody here on that application? I'll take that as a no. So let's, all right, leave it there. We'll get it later. Yeah. Next application is application 23219 of Ayet.
Approving.
Thank you. I'll make that.
Okay.
I'll prove that right now.
Good evening.
You want me to approve now? Wait for this.
Yeah, approve.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 24-012 with the condition that when the tenant leaves the premises, the 8-foot fence be removed.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
You're welcome, Council.
Okay. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Chris Alvino. I work for Harold Gebhardt Architect, 363 North Wellwood Avenue, Lindenhurst.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated January 17, 2024. A environmental control memo dated January 18, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Michael K. Wicks dated February 10, 2023. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 20 photographs and a site plan by Harold E. Gebhardt dated September 6, 2023.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Well, I looked over the memorandum here, so there's some things here that we have no problem with. Like, we would like to keep the room. Her children, they're in high school, and they use it for a study room. The homeowner's here, she could tell you more about that, about the room. Regarding the shed, no problem relocating it, removing it over in the northwest corner. It says here something about that shed, and no, it is right up on the property, so why not, all right? Also, Right now, the concrete patio paved area where that fire pit is behind a fence, so you can't see it from the street. There's vegetation and there's a fence there. But we have no problem screening it from the street where that pit is there on Monmouth Street. We have no problem taking away some of the paving.
Hey, do me a favor, please. Can you please clear the room so we can continue our hearing, please? Ladies and gentlemen, step outside and you can talk all you want. Oh, got Katie on you now. It's our Sergeant of Arms. Okay, continue, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was, just going through some of these concerns, so we could take some of the paving away. I'll revise it and take away the shed or relocate it. It's an odd shape, so maybe just getting rid of it would be fine. And then screening the fire pit. Do you want to speak a little bit about the room? This is Asmina.
Yes, hi. My name is Asmina Chaudhary. I'm the owner of the house.
You affirm to tell the truth?
Yes. Since I bought the house, the shade was already there. I did not do anything. I just make it nice, like paint, repair or something. Now my question is, he was telling me already earlier to remove or something. Well, if we have to remove, I will agree with you. But if it's any way you can keep it, it's okay. If not, also okay. That's I just want to say.
Anything else?
No, not really.
Not yet.
It's rare, but
All right, I'll turn the hearing over to Mr. Correcchia.
How many families live in this home?
one family.
No, we had a permit for rental.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Who
sorry.
lives here? I'm sorry.
Yes, hi. I forgot the date, which year we bought, but since we bought the house, we have accessories apartment. We always have permit for rental. I never had a rent illegally. So since I bought the house, every year I have rental permit, like accessories apartment, mother-daughter house.
So right now you have an accessory apartment?
Yes, with permitted, right.
And the accessory apartment is located where in the home?
It's the second floor.
Second floor, and the entry?
Is front entry because it is corner house.
Front entry to the accessory apartment?
It's like a front, and first floor right side is my entry, and then stairs and goes up.
So it is a two-family, well, it's an accessory apartment?
Yes, since I bought the house, yeah.
How long do you own the home?
This house more than like 12 years now, or maybe up, little bit up than 12 years, 14 maybe.
The addition, the rear addition, rear and side addition?
Yeah, I did one rear addition. I took the permit for that one. I had permit and everything. Yes, I did.
So there's, and that's just for the main apartment, that's not another apartment, is it?
You know what happened when I got the permission for the rear extension? There is a little bit misunderstanding with my inspector because we had a permit for extension, family room, and then frontier, and then I was asking about something about the room, or, the other room, which was we talking right now. He was telling me you have work permit, and then you can make it, and then coming through maybe it's my understanding also mistake what he say. Maybe I understand wrong way, but he was telling me to the work permit I had, I can make another extension, then I can approve with the town. So that's why I did. But the one I already had, that one already done with the town and everything. And after that, this one, when we try to legalize, when town whatever they want, I always provide. The paperwork, they came for inspection, they want...
That extension, you were, going to be 3 apartments?
No. This one for my kids' study room. Basically, the another one I got the extension is for family room.
How many kitchens are in
I have 2, son and daughter. My son in the university and daughter in the high school.
How many kitchens?
Oh, 2 kitchen already.
One upstairs?
And the one first floor.
And one for you?
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty big extension off the back of the house there.
Back of the house, I already had the permission for that one.
You had a permit for that?
Yes.
And we have ample parking for the both apartments, right? The accessory apartment?
Yes.
Would be advisable to remove that shed.
Small shed? Okay, I mean,
We'll get rid of it.
A lot of cars parked around the property.
no, honestly speaking, I had 5 cars. My husband has a business. So my son drive 1 car. I have my own car.
Accessory apartment, you need ample parking.
They have 3 parking because they used to have 1.
Accessory apartment, you need ample parking.
We already made 1 parking already in the front and back. I have like double parking already.
So you agree to take down that shed?
Small shed? Yes, okay, if you say so, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions at this time.
You can remove variances 4 and 5.
Any other questions from the board? Yeah, so we can remove it. You agree to take the shed down?
The small one you're talking about by my garage, right?
Behind the garage.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, she lost it. That's a shed.
Just that one behind the garage is a shed. This whole thing is
Correct.
That little thing back there?
The question is, this shed's been,
Is side yard good on that addition? Oh, for the existing 3.6.
When was the addition constructed?
no, it's been there since I bought the house. I never did anything.
The home with that addition?
Yes.
Are you represented by an attorney?
Oh, no, addition, no, it was,
This addition. That was built when she built the rear addition she had the permit for.
You got a permit for that rear addition?
Probably not that big.
No, the one adjacent to it, to the south. Adjacent to it. We put a room on there we had a permit for. South. I could show you if you want me to step up.
Is that whole thing an addition, or is it 2 different additions that, to the side and back?
it's not my,
Site plan, if you want to bring up the site plan, you'll see it.
Okay.
The hatched area. That hatched area, there's a space right in front of it, just to the south. It's 12 by 20 feet. That we had gotten a permit for. There's an existing wood platform attached to it to the south.
I have to say, you have us totally confused. Where,
Was what was previously,
Previously approved.
which is probably that. Yeah, so I was right, Mickey.
This rectangle was built when this was built.
huh?
She
That
built
was
it at the
there-
same
the-
time?
Built with a permit, this was A&R without a permit.
Right.
So the one in the back, so the part of the back of the house was built with a permit?
This piece right here, Mickey.
Okay.
And then she did this
And
without a
and
permit.
then she added the other part
Right.
without a permit?
Right.
And it's, side yard's a problem?
Yes, right.
Okay, thanks.
If you had a permit for the first edition, why didn't you apply for a permit for the second edition?
no, you know what happened? When I speak to the inspector, he was telling me, with this permit I can do, maybe it's my misunderstand, like maybe I think wrong, I mean, I do not understand what he's saying basically, because, and then when I tried to renew the permit, it was already, they say, oh, I make like no time to, like I came to the town to renew the permit, to do all together everything.
To renew your accessory apartment permit.
Right. And they say, oh, no, you have to reapply with the town again. So we did reapply, whatever their town asks every time, we give them every time, whatever document they ask for it. So after that, they say, oh, you know what, we need a variance. So that's why we are here, basically. But
So then how
every
did
time,
I'm sorry, how did this pop up then, when they came to inspect for the apartment?
no, you know what, my neighbor is pretty much like me. They always complain since when I moved. My neighbor, they complain every 6 months. I have even though I don't have illegal apartment, they always call about that, this and that. So I don't want to say that, but someone complain about that.
They came here, they seen it. That's why we're here, that
Yeah, but the addition's built without a permit, 3 feet from the side yard. That's a problem.
Now, is there gutters also there? Where's the runoff going from the
The
roof?
gutter in the left side.
There are no gutters.
No, not in the.
So that water runoff is pretty close to the property line. That's a big addition.
I mean, we could put a gutter on it. We have it says here we have 10 foot to 3.6 feet.
Yeah, so,
Unfortunately,
Mr.
she.
Alvino, you've been here before. You know our standard is pretty much no more than
Of course
5.
I do. Of course I do.
So what are we trying to do here?
I mean, I would have advised against building that close to the property line, but it was done, without me knowing. But I'm here pleading, hoping maybe by taking the shed down, getting rid of a little bit of the patio, putting a nice screen there. The house is in nice shape. They keep a nice house. It's for the kids studying. Maybe,
If you can consider.
maybe we can get this thing through, I don't know what
There
to
is
say. I don't know what to say.
there's an additional entryway on that extension,
Yes,
facing Bergen Avenue.
Yeah.
So that's two front entrances, actually. So that entertains the thought of an additional apartment.
I can close that door if you want. I can put window there. That's fine.
Take the extension down.
Yeah, if you're gonna close up the door, you might as well cut back to 5 feet at
I mean, I'm
minimum.
not going to rent this one, honestly. I just make for my kids' study room. I have already rental permit. Why I'm going to do that?
How many bedrooms is this?
We
house?
basically have 2 bedroom and 1 living kitchen and 1 family room. So my son basically, when he comes from university, he's sleeping in the family room. And that one I just make for his study room so they can study when they come.
Is there a basement in this house or no?
I had a basement. I had a finished basement, but the kids, they don't want to go to the basement.
What's in the basement?
Oh, just like sofa and everything I use for my closet, the clothes and everything. I had a bathroom.
Unfinished?
Yeah, it's finished. I have approved basement. Yeah.
It's finished or unfinished?
No, it's finished. Since I bought the house, when I buy the house, it was finished basement. I think you have all documents there. And they came for inspection and everything I did. My house, I don't have anything illegal except this one is when inspector told me you can build with the same work permit and then, they said they can combine. So maybe I hear wrong way and he's saying how he say maybe, I don't know, there is some misunderstanding. But I really don't have any intention to do anything without permit or anything. If you see, I also applied like 2007 for extension. I was missing because that day my mom was sick, I went to the hospital, so I couldn't make the hearing. So all my neighbor complained, so you guys already deny and everything.
We've been here
like since 7-8 years to do things with permit, not without permit.
How many bathrooms are on the main floor, including
One
the
bedroom,
extension?
one bathroom in first
Is there
floor.
a bathroom in the extension?
No, there is no bathroom. One bathroom in the first floor, one bathroom.
Is there any plumbing in the extension?
No.
Heat?
Sorry?
Heat?
Oh yeah, I have heat everything. We already provide, like we did, whatever you guys ask every time inspector go, I provide the document, every time.
And what is this room being used for, the extension that you put in?
For a study room, and my husband also work, He has a business, is out of country, so most of the time he has to wake up and talk to his employees like at 1 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock at night. So that room will be really great for us if you approve it.
The need for an additional 10-foot extension off the first extension, the first extension is 14 by 18 feet, which is a large room.
That one
Then the-
family room,
The
yeah.
additional second extension is another 10 by 10.
Right, this one I made for study room and office room for my husband and kids.
Are there partitions in between the two extensions, or is it one big open room?
No,
No, there's a partition. That
There's a
that
par-
rectangle is as you see it, that's just the room. I think you have the
So
plan.
there's no access?
We have the plan.
Yeah, there's a front door.
No, I know, but from that original permitted addition, is there?
Here's the plan if you want to see it. This is called the seating area.
Call it anything you want, but.
Yeah, how about the basement?
basement? Yes, I had, but sometime my son, he make the gym room, he do the gym and everything. So my daughter is high school, she has very,
So
like,
the basement is finished?
yes, since I bought the
Is
house.
there a bathroom in the basement?
Yes, yes,
So there is a bathroom in the basement?
yes. There is a
that's three bedrooms.
one bathroom in the basement, one in the first floor, and one in the accessories apartments.
Bought the when you bought the house, the basement was finished, or? you-
Yes, yes,
Okay.
With the bathroom?
everything, yes. I mean, I have all the document in my house every time they go for inspection.
Shed's big though, too. I mean, it's long, but, you know, it's big. Down from this living area, down there. So there's steps going from the living room down into what is being called the seating area?
Yes, for the dining room, there's a step, and then it's just soil level. So you have a 4 step, and then you go to the room.
So that second front door leads to a staircase going down to the finished basement?
No. What do you mean by like?
I'm not sure if it's, is that what it shows on that drawing?
That seating area, when you go through from the outside, it's on grade, right? There's no. It's on grade. But then you could also access to the main house through that room. Correct.
Yes, that room.
I'm taking the door off. We could take the front door off, get a window.
Now, is this going down to the basement? Is cellar stairs in the back of the house?
There's a basement entrance?
Basement entrance, yes, it's seen with the house.
Excuse me, sir, you can't.
You can come up and talk.
Oh, he can better explain also. He's like my
Come on up,
tenant.
guys. You
He's
gotta
been
be
with
sworn
me
in.
like 8 years in my house.
Just need your name and address for the record.
Daniel J. Hinton. I reside at 80 Bergen Drive, second floor.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay.
Okay. So the way, I think the confusion is when you're looking at the back of the house, you do see the extension. Yes, there are steps going down. And then you have the cellar, there's a second set of steps, basement steps. So it may look as if it's just one going all the way in, but that's not the case. It's a separate, it's like a small deck that comes off the back of the rear of the extension on the back of the house, has its own stairs, and then once you pass that, then off to the left about 2 to 3 feet is the stairs going down into the basement. It does not lead directly into the basement. The side of the house, yes, there is a front door there. That door is blocked off, if you can see by the gate that's there. So it's not, yet technically, yes, it is another, technically it is another entrance, but it's never used as such.
I
It's
barely
more
use,
used
like-
for going into the backyard. That's it. It's blocked off by, if you can see, there's a a gravel driveway that was just put in so that my wife and my car, and my son's car, could take advantage of the front of the house for parking and the side. They built the rear driveway that you see there next to the fire pit, which can accommodate up to, I would say,
That
3 to
was
4 cars.
already been
Yeah.
there when I buy the
So when
house.
she got the
Just,
original permit to build on the back, I remember that there was a discussion that she would be able to use the same permit to build on the side.
That's the mistake
I believe there
did.
was miscommunication on that part. There was no intent to defraud the town in any way.
So she received a CO, a valid CO, after she did the first extension?
She would have to answer that.
No, I applied for the CEO because someone complained about the new extension. So
When you had the first extension, you had a valid CO for
only
the
I
first
had one
extension.
extension since I
No?
buy the house.
There was no valid CO,
There was a valid CO for the house, but I don't believe she got a CO.
or either extension.
No, it just made like between time range in same year, more or less 1 or 2 months earlier or later.
So that rear extension,
Never got.
they were both constructed at the same time?
More or less, yes, yes. 2
So
months,
when you
3 months.
applied and got a permit for said extension at this size,
Right.
you made it bigger.
Right, you know what happened when
That's the issue. Like, so if you say, I'm gonna build a 10 by 10 extension, you need to build a 10 by 10 extension. You can't just say, you know what, I'm gonna build a 10 by 20
No,
extension.
no, you know what, I did mistake, I agree. When there is a problem when I get the permit, it says extension front and rear. And when my rear, the front porch was wood, then I make it like a brick. And then I told the inspector, he said, oh, whatever you have to do, finish it together, and then we come for inspect and we'll check, do everything together. You can do whatever you want to do with this work permit. That's my understanding. Maybe he said different way. I thought this is the way. And then when I came to the town to renew my permit, somebody already complained. They say, oh, some neighbor complained.
Well, you didn't follow the plans that you submitted for the permit.
No, after that, whatever town asks, we provide each and every time.
You provided the plans for this massive extension?
To
3 feet from
legalize
house
another extension.
Before you constructed it?
No, the family one I had.
That's my point. When you submit plans for a permit, you need
No,
to
no,
abide
no,
by
no.
those
Oh, I
plans.
understand what you're saying. You know what happened? 2007 or 8, we apply for this kind of extension. As I told you, all our neighbor complain. I don't know what reason. They don't want her to make this
You built an extension
house.
3.5 feet from their house.
Sorry?
They complained because you built an extension 3.5 feet
No.
from their house.
It's
That
I think I
house
say.
was vacant. The house that you see, I would say going north, that house originally was a vacant.
Vacant lasts for 12 years.
It was renovated.
In like less than 2 years.
Yeah, they renovated the house.
And they
fixed it
sell
up,
the
but
house less than
extension
2
was
years.
built prior to that house. It was
No,
condemned.
that all.
So your extension was built before the house, while the house was condemned next door?
Correct.
And then when I
But that's got nothing to do with it.
No, it doesn't matter.
No,
I'm
no,
just- so that we have a timeline, a correct timeline as to when certain things were.
Did you have a contractor that built these extensions? Did somebody come in and build extensions? You hired somebody to build the extensions?
Maybe I could shed a little light on it.
It'd be helpful.
I'll try. All right. Let me say it in the mic here, please. I don't want to talk loud. What happened, because I've been involved in this, we have been involved in this house for a very long time. We've been in before the board 2 other times, and now we're here. She needed space. No one's here. Like, one time I was here, like, 10 people got up and they were going up against. Tonight, it's a nice night. She's not getting bombarded by her neighbors. That's great. Yes, when she built this back room, she built this other room. And then she called me in. When I went over there, I seen this. I'm like, whoa. As we were kind of putting together the
Let me
application.
interrupt 1 minute. You were not involved in the construction of the first or primary
I've been
extension,
involved
right?
with the addition in the back. I tried for a different addition, it got denied. We went back, we changed it. We finally got it approved to have this little thing in the back, this room.
14 by 10.
But nothing ever on the side of that. Everything else
So
was,
the
we
14 by
attached,
10
we
extension-
attached the garage to the house at one time, and they didn't like that. They didn't want us to attach the garage to the house. So basically, that rectangle, she slid around and she put on the side. And she got really close here, whatever it is, 3.6. So when I went there, well, let's draw it up. Let's hand it in. At the same time we were putting it all together, the application and handing it in, I guess they caught wind of it. It kind of happened at the same time. Yeah, she did something wrong here. It's not,
You were involved in this all this time, too, with the extension and then the additional extension, basically?
everything. But I didn't know about this addition on the side. This was a surprise to me when I went there. I saw this addition on the side. She called me up. I seen this when they were
Bring
building
it
it.
back to my other question. Did you hire a contractor to do this?
She hired a contractor to do
Yeah, I
this.
cannot do myself, yes.
Did you design these extensions, both of them, or?
I did everything for them, but I did not
After I
design
did
this
that
room. This room we're here talking about was not in my original plan.
Clarify everything for them. You designed the 10 by 14 extension off the rear of the home, parallel to the property line, adjacent to the house
Correct.
line, without that additional 10 by 10 sitting room.
Correct.
So that's what you designed, and that's what you drew plans for.
Yes,
And that's what they had a permit for,
yes,
not the second addition.
correct.
But they went ahead and built the other addition
It got
without
big,
a permit.
it got bigger, and that's why we're here.
And you were not aware of that.
I was aware of it after the foundation, the walls were up, the roof, it was done.
He's already done, then he knows, yeah.
So you applied for this and built this at the same time?
More or less same time, yes. Because as I talked to the inspector, I think I got what he say, maybe I did mistake, like what he tried to tell me.
Big
I
mistake.
thought he said you can do whatever you want to do, the same work permit, and then approve it by one time.
You can't do whatever you want to do.
I mean, there was a lot, I mean,
Sorry, I did mistake.
I mean,
I
look,
totally
this
get
is really no excuse, but there was a lot going on with this house regarding the neighbors or that one night. The other thing is, we did apply for, we weren't going to do any work to the front stoop, but then when they were working, it was,
That's the least of the problem.
no, but my point is, I'll make a point real quick about it. The front stoop was falling apart, so we had to come back here. We were coming back here anyway, because the front stoop was being rebuilt. Yeah, we knew we were coming back here. I knew I was coming back here because we had to redo the front stoop because it was falling apart and they rebuilt it. I mean, here we are. I know what we're asking for. I know it's tough, but I'm hoping you guys can, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I agree 100%. Yeah.
I just want to ask another question about the pavers. When was all that done, and was that permitted?
The paver?
It looks like a fire pit area,
Yeah, you know,
retaining wall.
to be honest, there's like a phenomenon going on Long Island right now. I work all over the island. I'm with Harold 31 years. The phenomenon, well, I'm just going to let you know, the phenomenon is people are building without permits. They're just out there doing it. Like, we'll start a project, they get all antsy about it taking so long to get whatever it is, and people just start continuing to build. So a lot of the time, I'm in front of the boards.
It has no relevancy on this.
I know, I'm just trying to let you
Telling
know.
us how it is on Long Island.
It's rough because people are building, they're pouring patios, they want to go outside and have an iced tea, they want it done.
Listen, you get on the agenda here very easily. We're not backed up with cases for 6 months at a time and stuff like that. You pretty much get on the agenda in the most 6 weeks.
And we're not defending
So,
them. We don't need to justify.
I mean,
I understand, I'm with you. I mean, I've been doing this long enough.
Okay.
But people build. People have been building like crazy, they're just building.
What? Does anybody want to be heard on this application? Yes. Can I have a seat for a second? Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Patrick Dockery, 35 Monmouth Street, Deer Park.
And you affirm to tell the truth?
Sure. All the time.
Go ahead. What'd you like to tell us?
Look, I don't want to be a pain in the butt. They're good neighbors, and they've done very, very well, but I don't like what happened. I mean, there are rules and regulations. It's very simple, but I don't like to be lied to, and there can be a line of BS. I mean, I can understand. They're damn good neighbors. But I don't like the fact that there's going to be, what do you call it, a hostel or something beside my house. I mean, there's doors all over the place, apartments all over the place. I don't know what's what or who's who. The only time I ever saw a permit was in the last 2 or 3 days. I mean, they're good people, but the thing is, you know, don't pee in my, don't pee in my shoe and tell me it's raining. I didn't want to be here. I wasn't even going to come here. Because they are good people, but abide by the rules. The rules are for everybody. And the same flipping thing again, no, but bing back and forth. I mean, they did a cut on the street on the west side. I said, oh, crikey. I mean, to break every rule possible. I mean, if I want to come do something, come down here and ask you, sit down with somebody and they'll tell me, well, you can't do this or you can't do this. I mean, they talk about the basement. The basement is open. You walk in. They did a nice job on the part in the back. Then, Jesus, then they built one on the bloody thing. Then they built one on the north side. I mean, the work was good. But when you're 6 inches from somebody, it's.
You're right.
It was very annoying. I really didn't want to come here. I always like to be a good neighbor, and I have been a good neighbor. And the neighbors haven't been breaking shoes because I'm the only one here, because I live right next door on 35 Monmouth Street. So again, if they could come here and sit down and get this straightened out, and don't give me a line of bull. I don't like when you're lying to me, to my face. I've got no respect for you when you do that. I was kind of nervous sitting here, and I said, what do I do?
Oh, look.
No, you got to talk to us. You can't do that.
Why you be nervous?
Oh, I don't.
No. You can talk after, go outside and do whatever you got to do, but you can't, there's no cross conversation.
You're right.
No,
You're right. I apologize.
Okay.
So, I personally would like to see somebody go around there and inspect the house. And then there's no argument. And if you can do it, let them get permits and pay for the permits. And pay for any adjustments that has to be made. I'd be very happy with that. But I don't want to see the house next door turned into a multi-family house. I mean, there's upstairs, downstairs, left, right, and center. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Would anyone else like to be heard on this? Hold on 1 second. I have a gentleman in the back that hasn't been heard. Let me let him speak. Name and address for the record, please.
Anthony Bakke, 930 North Putnam Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
What would you like to tell us?
This just seems like, not to be funny, but somewhat a misleading Home Depot commercial. The perspective of a 10 by 10 room, if they're extending it 4 feet, I'm just a little confused. Is that like, if you could just build a sheetrock wall, and that's wrong on their part, and they got to get fined for that? That could happen to any homeowner if they're adding an add-on with just sheetrock or something. Unless there's cement, then it requires a permit. So I'm a little confused why this would be a dispute.
What's your relationship to that premises?
Because the neighbor's complaining that it's too close to the house, within 3 feet. What would be the difference?
And you live in the vicinity of?
No, generally speaking. Because you mentioned the fireplace and all that. What would be the difference if they had a trampoline and it gave a foot between the fence and the trampoline and his house? What would be the difference of an extension of a house? Right, with cement, right.
Not a permanent structure.
Okay, so it has to do with architect and, okay, of course. I see a lot of zombie houses and houses falling apart. I just think there's more priority to other houses, but I was just a little
It
confused.
doesn't matter what's priority, this is what's before us, and if people have complaints about something, we follow up on them. And
Okay.
this is built illegally, it's a very large structure that was built illegally.
Right.
And built way too close to the property line. So, I mean, you know, when it comes to us, it has to be dealt with, is what it boils down to. So, I
Sure,
mean,
it was just
those
a-
other things, you know, if they come to us, then they'll be dealt with at the time. You know, we have code enforcement that goes out and checks on different things like that. If you have something that you think is a problem, you can always, go to Citizen Services and, they'll send somebody out to check on it and make sure, that it's done right, is what it boils down to.
Very good, because just as a general population civilian, I would not be aware of if I wanted to build a sheetrock wall in my apartment and make an extended room or something, that I would need a permit for that?
You could address the building department and get all that information that you do need.
The building department.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bacchi, B-A-C-C-H-I. Yep.
Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Oh, you want to be heard, right?
Yeah. Again, Daniel
You're
J.
already sworn in.
Hinton,
Yeah.
second floor. I've known Patrick since I've moved in. He's a stand-up guy. I have no issues with him whatsoever. He's nice to me. He's nice to my family. I can understand if he has issues with how the development turned out. I myself am unaware of exactly what they did in order to build upon the property, but I do know that there is nobody other than my family residing in this home. I have been there for going on 7 years. Prior to that, I know there was one other family upstairs, but I know for a fact I've gone downstairs to kill spiders in this woman's basement. That house is not set up for, there's stuff downstairs, but it's not set up for like another person to live and reside in. The only other room that is even set up for that is where I live upstairs. Yes, the side of the house, from what I understand, yes, the side of the house seems to have an issue as far as like the building code and what happened. Totally understand that. I'm sure it wasn't done out of malice. She doesn't do it like that. I do remember, like I said, she was telling me about it. She thought it was under the same permit, like a long-standing permit, and that she could build on it from there. I think that's where the major issue comes in. But that side house, she uses that when she has to watch my daughter at days. They just use the room for that. No one's living in there. Honestly, no one that I've ever seen. It's just my family, their family and friends, and that's it. If there was somebody else there, I would tell you. I know for a fact that there's like a handyman that comes to help around the house, but he doesn't reside in the house. Past that, my family, that's it. She's never had any other aspirations to rent out the other sides of the house. She would tell me if so. And that back addition on the house next to the garage is literally just a small room with like a futon that the kids hang out in. And the other side is where, like as she says, where the study is. Other than that, honestly, there is nothing else that I could possibly say that could justify, any of the legality of it, but they do not have anyone else living there but me.
This time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so maybe I could do a closing statement. Is that okay? What we're really going for here and what we're asking for and pleading for is 3.6 feet. The property is in really nice shape. They did a good job on all the work. We're going to take that shed down completely. We'll screen, if we have to screen it a little bit more. I think it's screened. The fire pit, we'll screen it. If there's going to be an inspection, no problem. Have an inspect. No problem bringing someone in, taking a look, and we'll do whatever anyone asks us to do, we'll do. Whatever satisfies the board so we can have the room remain, we'll do. That's all I can tell you. That's what I'm here to plead for. And that's it.
While we're tightening things up here, the driveway on I guess it's the west side,
Yes, on the,
no, the other one.
on
Yeah,
Bergen Drive?
this one, yeah. Right there.
Okay, come on. Yep.
Does that go right up to the property line, those pavers?
Those pavers stop at the property line. Actually, just before, right at the property line.
Can we cut that back?
Could we cut that back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cut that back, whatever you'd like us to cut back.
2 feet.
Sure.
Now, did they get a permit for that curb cut there? For that
Oh, okay. You're talking about on the west side.
Right where
Cutting
the
that
arrow-
back
look
2
up,
feet.
Right where the arrow is.
Yep, we could cut that back 2 feet on the west side of the property. Yep.
What about the permit for the curb cut?
We'll get a permit for the curb cut. On the, on,
We'll be
on,
back here again.
on Bergen.
On Monmouth.
I had a question.
Well, that was the first,
Mr. Chris, I had a question.
I thought that was the,
Which one's added? There's two curb cuts.
the one that was added was Bergen Drive.
That was the original driveway?
The original driveway was off Monmouth?
This one already, since there, I bought the house.
Right there, that's the original, what you're pointing to is the original drive.
Since I bought the house, it was the garage already made it like this. I just make it nice.
See the difference between the sidewalk?
That's the new one,
That's all gravel.
just one car.
It's gravel.
That's gravel. It's just cut with, as, you know, the stone on the bottom and pebbles on top.
What's all the cars on Monmouth, too? Why are there so many cars there?
This one, I tell you, this one, my brother-in-law, he bought the car. He's scared to drive. We keep telling him to sell. He keep the car here because he live in Jamaica. He cannot park in the over there. And my sister-in-law, she's had a breast cancer. Now they are in very big trouble. So they left this car since more than a year. This is my big brother-in-law's car. And the other car, I had a farm. So that big car is for my farm. I had a farm in upstate. And I have 3 cars, which is one driving my son and myself and my husband. The other one for our business car. And this one, it will be probably go away soon because as soon my brother-in-law sell. This is never drive. It's been parked there since years and years.
We could put the cars on the driveway and get rid of the 1 or 2 of them. We
And
can't leave all those
It
cars.
was a question. I just was trying to
Yeah,
figure
well,
out why
I think
there's
that's
so
a little
many cars
excessive with the
parked on
cars. We
street
could get rid of the cars.
And he has also 3 cars, so that's the things.
Yeah, one at a time.
And you already spoke, so you had one chance to speak, but thank you. That's okay, thank you.
I want to say something. Since I buy this house, I did not change anything. I just try to make nice, like the driveway. No, you know what, ma'am? This is the driveway. Since I bought the house, I have maybe in my house 20 time inspection go. If you give me a time, I don't know, I should bring all this paper. Yeah, since I bought the house, my neighbor complained. Every 6 months, I have people coming from your town to check. They never get anything illegal. This driveways used to be like that with the concrete. I just made the pavers. That's I did to make nice. But only the extension, which one? I told you that my misunderstand that I thought is the one work permit I can combine. That's I did. I didn't say that I did not did. Even I didn't ask him. I just did, and then I say, you know, you have to add it with the work permit, this and that. Since I bought the house, it was like that. I have lot of inspection paperwork I can provide if you want. I have, since I buy the house, every time inspector go for complaint and also for inspection, I have all this documentation. If you want, I can provide tomorrow morning, no problem. And also one time, I don't know, I speak to one of your supervisor, like I believe it's 2009 or 10. I was talking to her with the phone like almost 1 hour about the neighbor complaint because every 6 months somebody came and say, oh, you have illegal apartment. So I let them go and check. And your even inspector was telling me, oh my God, how you live in this house. It's like your tenant like giving you really hard time. First 6 years is really horrible. Even I was thinking to sell this house, move somewhere else, and I say, oh, it's okay, I don't care. If I don't do anything illegal, why I should care about the other people?
As Mina and Chardry are not going to put a 3rd apartment in this house.
No.
It's not their intentions to put a 3rd apartment in this house.
Okay.
Nor is it their intentions to make the house any larger than it is.
There ain't much more room.
This is what's before you, and we're hoping to get this. We'll cut off the driveway. We'll do anything that you guys ask us to do. We'll get rid of the shed, so we don't have to take down this room, basically.
One quick. You're last. Go. Come on up. Name and address for the record.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Sorry to disturb you. They've been living in Dubai. It was Nazmoon Alim. My address is 32 West 7th Street, Deer Park. I'm her also one of the friend and neighbor both. They had a luxury life in Dubai. So when she came over here, house is really small for her. She have so many friend, family come over from husband's side, mother's side. It wasn't enough. She spoke to me also. Due to that, it's not for the rental. She need additional space for the guest. That's why she make that room. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision.
All right, thank you.
Good night.
Appreciate it. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming down. Take it into the record. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
If there's anything you guys require from me, I'll get it to you
We'll
ASAP.
let you know.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, that concludes